Hi, everybody. Welcome to the L.O.V studios, where we are introducing a new concept. The L.O.V is the Message Legacy Hour Chat. This is very important to us. This concept was designed in order to get to know each other, get to know the legends of vinyl pioneers, legendary producers, disc jockeys, and artists, so we can actually get up and close and personal with everybody. And we're going to have a lot of fun today. I would like you to please join us and share this show with everybody because it's going to be very interesting because we're going to have a lot of laughs, a lot of history being told today. And believe me when I tell you, if you have any questions, please, I'm on the chat. Do me a favor and just kind of, send your messages so I can ask our friend here. So I'm going to introduce right now. So it's 3:01 in the afternoon, and I am having fun already. I would like to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day and be safe as we've been trapped here in our homes, but we're making the best of it. So today we have an icon, a person who we all admire and respect, not just the industry, but the whole world. The more you know this gentleman, the more you're going to love him because he has a history like second to none. He's starting as a DJ in Florida, by the way, in 1973, and he received the Billboard Florida DJ of the Year award in 1977. Then he moved to the West Coast when he received two consecutive Billboard National DJ of the Year awards in 1979 and 1980. That's an accomplishment that is an incredible. It's so incredible to a lot of people because that his talent is that huge, is that wonderful, and I'm talking about Bobby Viteritti, the one and only Bobby Viteritti. Bobby played long nights of sophisticated disco, R&B, and sleaze music in which songs were connected not by beats per minute or theme, but by their musical structure and by subtle instrumental sounds that were almost impossible to hear unless you were under Bobby's spell. In fact, many people today will not even know what a sleaze music was or how really special it was to listen to a DJ that knew how to create a kind of atmosphere. No, sleazy or sleaze is not a reference to something which is unclean. It is a reference to music which was played very early in the morning when the DJ was slowly winding down the party. The rhythm and beats of sleaze music were slower and designed to ensure that the dancers experience a safe landing. And at the end of the evening, sleaze music was only played in clubs like Trocadero Transfer and in San Francisco or at the Saint in New York City. Although many clubs like after hours were also in the same situation because we play from till 7 or 10 o'clock in the morning, so we had to bring people down. Everybody was so high, and you can't just cut the night abruptly. I mean, you have to bring them down in a very, very easy way. His sound was incredibly eclectic. Within 30 minutes, you could hear a moody song, space song, a tropical or funky record, and a sleazy R&B cut, each bound by a particular rhythm or groove, hidden deep beneath the vocals, but alive with energy and a stylish magic that was uniquely Viteritti. Bobby's genius was in his ability to build a mood on the dance floor and to keep you dancing all night long through mixes of unbelievable energy, or unbelievable disorientation, which was a state the most of the crowd while Bobby was playing. He was famous for leaving a record momentarily by mixing into a perfectly matched instrumental passage in another song and then back into the original record at a different place. And then out of his own personal version, tape edit, another song that is amazing, was amazing. The effect was a brilliant combination of entertainment, amazement, and vertigo. Because just when you figured out where you were, you got lost again. I mean, that is amazing. Nowadays, with quartz locked turntables, drum machines, produced records, sampling devices, CD mixers, and digital tricks, DJs can pull off stunts like that very, very easy. When Bobby did it, it was an old bell driven turntable with records that were made by real and imperfect drummers. Bobby added hand cut tape edits with razor blades, instinct, experience, and talent, and the result was pure Bobby Viteritti. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would like you to please welcome the one and only, my friend, and I'm so proud to call him my friend, Bobby Viteritti. Please, how you doing, Bobby?
Hi, Louis.
How you doing? How is New York City?
Good. That was some gracious. You make me sound so gracious in there. Where
Well,
my music
the,
flows and moves and synchronizing. And but for my greeting, I'm going to say, "How you doing?"
I'm doing fine. But Bobby, listen, it is true, and the truth must be told, and that's what this is all about. Because we need to tell the audience, our loyal audience, that's following you in this if for so many years, and they need to know the real thing. They need to know from you exactly what happened. I mean, your history is, like I said before, it started in 1973 in Miami. So tell us a little bit about those days, Bobby.
I'm thinking of Roy Thode. Now that you mention it, I'm flashing back on Long Island when I was 18, and Roy Roy Thode lived on Long Island too,
Right.
and I would go hear him on Fire Island, playing at the Sandpiper. No, playing at the Ice Palace. And
Wow.
he was so Roy thought is the second year I got those awards, I tied with him. So Roy got it for the Saint and me Trocadero. But
Mhm.
yeah, a little nervous, but I'll mellow out in a second.
No, this is absolutely fine. What we'd like to do is that we like to. I want to take you back into the days when you
Mm.
went from the East Coast into from South Florida,
Take
Miami,
me, take me.
going back, went all the way across the country to San Francisco of all places. I mean, it was magnificent. It was magical in those days. We were making a lot of history everywhere, but you landed in San Francisco and you created this monster on top of another thing.
I remember
Yeah.
Barry Lederer and
Mm,
Peter Spar from
right,
Graybar.
right.
They said, "You're going out to West Coast to San Francisco. You want to work at Trocadero? That's not your club. That's Gary Ty's club."
Oh,
I said, "Well, we both could work there. Then can I work there?" No, that's his Ty. That's his club. Well, that didn't steer me off for any. I still hopped in my car and went out there and played and oh God, was it fabulous the first night.
yeah. Tell us a little bit about the. I know the acoustics were incredible, and we all know about acoustics, and
Oh,
we
me and
know
my
about the right place, the dance floor, and everything have to be the full package, right?
yeah, it was like a 12 West, but it was bigger and it was just what we needed. There was 8 coffins, speakers,
Mm,
and when I walked in there for the first time, I was tripping
yeah.
on acid with my boyfriend. It was a Saturday night, and let's see how they party in San Francisco. That was when we first got there.
Cool. Very
So I
cool.
went on the dance floor. My friend Bob, who ended up being my business manager, was there too. And we were right in the middle of the dance floor, and I was looking up at him, and nobody knew who I was. I think I had a mask on or something of this, you know.
Really?
And so I was able to let my hair down. And I just I turned around and looked at Dennis and says, Dennis, I want to work this room. I want to work this place,
You felt
you
it.
know. And
Yeah,
he
you
says, when
felt.
I'm determined, I'm determined. And I had just bought a house in Florida, you know,
Yeah.
and it just settled down and everything. So I went back to Florida and I sold the house. What do you mean you're selling the house? It's only been 2 years about it. I'm selling it. I ended up
Right.
buying a house in Russian River uh, to roll it over, roll it over. But yes, yes, yes. That first night was glamorous. Oh,
Wow.
Jesus. I'll never forget when I played Shame, the song Shame by Evelyn Champagne
Yeah.
King.
Sure. Yeah.
When I played that song, there was a pin went on up everybody's butt at the same time and the roar. Like when I mixed it in, I just had override it and just tipped it in, Shame.
Right.
And I'll never forget that moment. I said, the more people, the merrier the party. The more
Right.
people give me, and the energy in that room was just so incredible. The fans and everything. Jesus, I could sneeze and they would scream. Yeah, now they would.
Unbelievable. What's the capacity of that club, Bobby?
About 700.
That's 700 people there. Wow. Yeah, yeah. That's a massive, massive place. No doubt, no doubt. But then you stay there until what year were you there?
I stayed there till 81. And then Dreamland, Howard Merritt was working at Dreamland and his
Right.
contract was over.
Hmm.
And they wanted to sign me up for a year contract. And the money was so good, I just said, well, now might be the time
Why not?
to buy another house. So I made a lot more money rather than Trocadero. Jeez, Trocadero was paying me. You have no idea what he was paying me.
Right.
And I was always complaining to Dick Collier. I said, Dick, come on, I want to buy a house here. I can't out of this salary. Can't even afford drugs on top of it.
Oh my. Well, the drugs came easy. I mean, drugs and liquor and
They were
all of
there
that.
whenever you needed them.
Everybody will give them to you. I mean, well, we all had that kind of experience. But then, who else was playing in those days in San Francisco that we can talk about?
Steve Fabus,
Steve, wonderful
good old
discerning.
Steve Fabus. He ended up being my
Well,
alternate DJ
did you
on.
bring any other DJ from the East Coast, Bobby?
Oh yeah, brought Craig Morey and
Mm.
Mike Lewis up from L.A.
Oh,
and featured
wonderful.
them there as a club because
Hmm.
there was nobody in San Francisco that could play on my nights off, and everybody was. They tried, the locals tried, but Mike and Craig were able to pull it off. They did a good job. They imagine flying up to San Francisco on a Friday night
Right.
to play Truckadoo. That must have been such a high for them.
Wow, wow, wow. That's insane. That's insane. But so, what else happened in San Francisco until
So
you finally decided to go
yeah,
away?
so they I couldn't fly him up every month because it was expensive,
Yeah.
and so that's one of the reasons why I left Trocadero because the money, the
So
money.
that was my next question. I mean, why is the reason that you end up leaving
Yeah,
Trocadero to Dreamland? But they
yeah.
lost. I mean, it's obviously it happened. But you know something, destiny. Your destiny was, to
The first
go.
6 months at Dreamland were very nice, very
Yeah.
good. My crowd followed me over, but they drifted back to Trocadero because the space. You
Yeah.
can't beat the space. Even I would go to Truck when I would close, and they'd still be open there
Oh,
for
is that
hours.
right?
The energy was different. The room is just so different. It
Right.
used to be a sound stage, and
Hmm.
for television, and with high ceilings, and the ceilings were wood, and there were six skylights in there, six.
Wow.
And when the sun slowly came up, the room would get brighter and brighter and brighter, and
Yeah.
everybody would be dancing high energy. And I would stop and do an encore, and they'd have everyone applaud. And
Right.
My light man, would have six people on the roof, and he had walkie-talkies, and
Wow.
he says, "Okay, pull the tops over them. Let's make a blackout."
Right.
So there you are on the dance floor. You could hardly see the lights because of the sun. Then boom, it goes black, and yeah, go, go.
Right.
It was so cool. And then I played like something like to start winding up again because round two, relight my fire.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to talk to you a little bit about the sleazy music. I mean, a lot of people don't realize how important that is.
Oh
At a
yes,
certain
yes.
time, it's specifically when the DJ knows the people had that high energy going on until what, 7 o'clock in the morning in some cases, or whatever the time it is. But you have to bring the audience down very carefully. Teach us a little bit about it.
Well, there's only so many times I could play MacArthur Park and all the songs
Right.
that people with the top 10 disco songs, what they were, and everyone I got that out of my system, and I got that out of their system because they did their disco theme. I Will Survive, and
Right.
then around 3 o'clock, I would just slowly start drifting out of it, and they just okay, we've had it. Then it's time to let their hair down,
Right.
and the beat slows down, and the volume gets a little lower. You hear the dance floor more and more audible. You could hear the tambourines, you could
Hmm.
hear the whistles, and people, but and they're stomping on the feet.
Wow.
They're, they're
Sweet.
stomping their feet on the floor. We had
Hmm.
an elevate. The floor was elevated 6 inches above the regular rest of the floor around
Right.
because they wanted it for the cushions for comfort for the dance floor to give. If you're going to be dancing all night, you don't want to be dancing on cement.
True that.
So
It's
you
a real
dance on
dance
this
floor.
wooden floor, and
Yeah.
it was hollow, and you could hear the bang in it. You know.
Wow. Yes. Well, it's a real dance floor. I mean, they have to have like in a ballroom, the dance floors. They
Yes,
have that
yes, yes.
cushion,
Like in a ballroom, like
and
Roseland had.
certainly, yeah, amazing. You have so many lightmans in those days, but one stands out. One person that we all know. uh,
Billy
you know,
Langenheim.
so tell me about this incredible friend of so many of us that
Uh,
was a light man, and then he became an incredible disc jockey.
oh, Robbie Leslie, you talk about.
How can we forget? you know, but
Oh,
so
I was thinking of
I was just
Trocadero.
kind
Now
of
we're going
tactfully.
back. No, we're leaving Trocadero. Now we're going rewinding to Fort Lauderdale with Robbie Leslie.
So
There
that
you go. There.
did Robbie ever made that trip to San Francisco in those days, or?
He played Trocadero quite a few times, but I no, not when I was there though.
Uh huh.
Over the years, he's played there,
Right.
and oh, Robbie used to be my light man.
Right. What year was this? What year was he doing the lights for you?
Oh, about 1975,
Right.
74, no, 75, 76,
Was
70, around there,
was he
75,
any was he
76.
any good as a light man? Was it?
Oh, oh, yeah, yeah, he was average on lights. I remember every time I used to bust his chops
Yeah.
because he didn't have that DJ status yet. He's
Right.
Robbie,
Right.
and he was just like the little guppy wanting to learn and hanging in
Yeah.
there like a puppy dog, you know.
Yeah. Well, let me tell
But
you
that's
something.
true,
This.
and those types I love, and plus he was hot.
Oh well, that's what I seen pictures of the
That
two of
started
you.
stirring up too, man. He
Yeah.
had some body.
Yeah.
We had some times as far
Yeah.
as that, trolloping around the town goes. But
Right.
when Robbie was, he was a waiter. He was waiting in Fire Island, and he'd fly back and forth from New York to Florida, New York to Florida. Winter, summer, winter, summer,
Right.
and yeah,
Oh
Robbie.
well, well, he became such a success, which we
Oh,
are all thrilled about it. It's a
you know
wonderful
what I
thing.
did, Mario?
Yeah.
I uh, I didn't want to ruin the cord on my headphones. I didn't want to cut them, so I took the quarter-inch stereo uh, piece apart and soldered
This
two more another pair of headphones on one. So I actually wired my headphones. He had a pair and I had a pair. So he was back there, had a pair with the lights,
right,
and he was doing the lights to my music, and he could hear me mixing. He could
right.
see what I was doing. The
Ah,
times I was. It's a great way to learn. To train
absolutely.
somebody, and how could you not pick up somebody's style doing
Yeah,
it that way? Because
yeah,
he's hearing mixes through my headphones.
yeah. So
I'm
you know,
training him. That's
yeah.
kind of like when you get piano lessons. If you get a good piano teacher,
Up one
the
an
first chord,
incredible
yeah,
ways because he's actually listening to your cueing and so on, and you when you drop it,
yep.
and you know every single detail is being picked up. Absolutely wonderful.
And then
Absolutely
when I would
wonderful.
mix too fast, I turn around, and look at Robbie, and go, "Girl, what are you doing? I don't put it." He would
No
get so
kidding.
excited. Yeah, but
Yeah,
then his lights were always on. But
yeah.
just to bust his chops, whenever we played "Where Were You When the Lights Went Out" by the Tramps,
Uh huh. Definitely.
I said, Robbie, I want you to do during the break. They have a blackout, so I want to
Right.
black the whole room out, but I want to black everything. I want those lights under the bar with the little yellow lights for the soda guns. I want those unscrewed too. The only things were the exit signs you could see.
Wow.
And he's got to run around and screw through. Bobby, tell me you're doing it again. She's doing it again. And go, let's have a blackout, but a real blackout. And
Yeah.
disco when you go, honey, this is black.
Right.
I'm surprised we didn't get in trouble with the fire marshal.
Well, we are extremely happy about Robbie and his incredible, history as well. And we just wanted to tap a little bit onto into Robbie because he's been with you for such a long time, learn from you. So we need to bring that to the front.
Yeah,
And
Robbie's a special man. He's a special, but
special,
I'm so close to him,
yes,
and just after all these years,
right, right,
how
right,
many years is that since
right.
75?
Don't
I'm
ask me
doing
to
my
do
math.
math.
45 years we're still together.
Right, yeah. So this is fantastic. Well, let me ask you something. Going from that to something kind of weird, but it have to be mentioned. And in those days, we're talking about the early '80s. What happened with the AIDS, HIV situation? Was that really such an impact all over the world, obviously, but in San Francisco, as you were in San Francisco, what happened over in those days?
Um, well, I guess I was right in the center of everything. 1979,
Right.
and I saw it happen from week to week to week. Every week, come people come in the club and they'd say, "You'll never guess who." Oh, and you can see them. You can see them having these conversations on the dance floor.
Hmm.
You know they're crying or something when I'm playing happy music. I'm
Right.
playing, and you
Wow.
just see people, these little gatherings, just screaming, "Oh!" They look up at the disco
Wow.
lights and they're just crying, and then
Yes.
they would start dancing again. But I had those interruptions constantly
You noticed
for
that.
about six
Yeah.
months. I had those periods of mourning. I remember I used to play a slow song every once in a while
Yes.
at Keith's Cruising or at the poop deck. But no, that's like playing a slow song. It's just like,
Yeah.
and then there was about a period of 2 weeks. 2 weeks that it was very bad. It was insane. Nobody was even in the mood, just like
Wow.
they all going, just like the coronavirus peak when we had the peak.
Yes.
Like here in
Yes.
New York, but
Yeah.
it was a lot worse because it's so concentrated. San Francisco, all the gays in one place, and
Hmm.
it's very sisterly. San Francisco is a very sisterly sister city.
Hmm.
Brotherly love, sisterly love, whatever.
Right.
But
Right.
lots of gay people.
Right. Well, yeah, that's true too. But in a happy note, you have had a very good relationship with two very important people in our industry, Patrick Coley and Sylvester.
Oh yes.
Yeah, those probably were incredible times as well. Two talents and
Oh,
they're incredible
Patrick
people.
Cali was my hero. Because I loved Giorgio Moroder,
Right.
and Patrick Cali was like one step below
Right.
Giorgio Moroder, but still I liked him. And when he
Hmm.
would come to town, I would tag on to him, and just like do anything with him. Let's do a remix of Funky Town.
Hmm.
Let's do this. The tons of fun. I've got the
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
And LTD.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, you do those some of your favorite tracks, from what I understand. You have quite a list of like we all do, obviously, and you have one of those memories, as far as I'm concerned. Happiness is just around the bend, by the main ingredient. That's one
Ooh.
song that I forever will be one of my favorites.
Oh wow! I heard you played on
Yeah,
your show the other day.
I play it a
No,
lot. Yeah.
not yesterday. I mean, last week there was a
Yeah.
time where you were so frantic and you were just you were pumping out the videos. And do you remember that period you had?
Yes, of course. Yes, something is my heart, is in my soul, is in all our souls, and it's important for us to keep playing those wonderful songs. You're going way back, so you definitely bring all of this magical music forward. You're still playing it, I'm sure,
The
but you
45 sounds so alive.
the
They sound so alive.
45s are so much fun, Bobby. It's so much fun, because and to mix them is even, to beat match them is amazing. Because in the
It's just
early
hard. You
days we were just slip queuing it, right? Dropping
well,
it.
it's
It's
a
all
lot of the mixing. You have to. It's just like a recording studio. You have to have everything set up the perfect way.
right.
Like the
True
recording
that.
studio that the Beach Boys do all their hits. Everybody wants to book them, or Abbey Road Studios. Well, it's
Yeah.
just like when you're in the DJ booth, it's the same thing. I remember Larry Levan's
Mm.
had a wonderful booth too. He
Yes, I
had it
remember it
set up
well.
really nice.
Remember it well. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, a comfortable, very comfortable, but it's loaded with people in there. You
Yes,
sometimes
and
you
he even
couldn't
had a
freaking move.
lounge there for you to hang out by the side. I
Yes,
like that.
yeah, and
I like the
everybody was
lounge.
so high, and a lot of people don't realize that. And I never forget when I used to go to either the garage or 12 West back in
There
those
was
days.
yeah, no friction, no fantasy. I mean, no. There was absolutely no anger when everybody was
It
doing
was a
drugs.
family,
When they're
still
drugs, they're
is.
very tame. You got a very tame crowd when they're high on drugs.
It is true. It is true, but
And you can do anything to them. You can do
99.9% of the audience was on something. So everybody was on
something.
the same mood, and everybody reacted the same way. And
Yeah, but you have the people coming in from outside. When I started at Trocadero, the DJs before me, they were so messed up. They never really set a structure or a kind of system and they'd be playing Disco Duck at 4 o'clock in the morning. And it's just what the hell? That was the worst. And he had all the lights on. That night, me and Dennis were there dancing. We were doing pops.
oh my
Disco
God, yes,
Duck.
this. Oh, that hurts. I love
Yes, it hurts.
it.
I said, but oh
Oh,
damn,
Jesus.
that's the route. That's what a way to come down, and then have
Yeah.
all the lights, like the house lights, light up,
Right.
but you could see the floor and your face. How ugly your
Oh
face
my
looks. My partner,
God.
he don't
Yeah,
look
yeah.
like that in
You
real.
start seeing detail. Oh my God. Now, you going back to the disconnect era and the hot tracks. You did so many of them. I
Rhythm
mean,
sticks too.
rhythm. Oh wow. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But so talk to me a little bit about. I mean, dance, disco hit medley. You
Oh,
did the
dance.
you did so many records, like also the Ray Martinez song "Lady of the Night." You did that
Oh, that's
also.
that's my.
You know,
The more I hear the song as it gets older, it
yeah.
gets more classier. You know.
Right,
The
right.
song "Lady of the Night." But that Sylvester medley, I made a Sylvester. That was the second release. That Disconet second release.
Wow.
Its second issue
Right,
was my remix of "You Make Me Feel Mighty Real"
right,
and "Dance and Disco Heat." And I did that in my living room. I bought an Archie 707, the tape deck,
right.
and you could put it on the floor and stand it up. It's looking right at you.
Amazing. Yeah.
And I just had the editing block right there under my living room. I said, "Geez, I wonder what would happen if you go. Oh, is this how they do it? Dancing,
Yeah, yeah.
disco, disco, disco."
You were doing surgery in there. You were doing, because a lot of DJs were trying to dissect your edits, and let me tell you, they're so seamless and completely incredible. You know, they're so fantastic, and I have. As a matter of fact, I can deny the fact that I have tried to kind of say, let me catch a mistake there, here and there. No, I can't. You know, but
Yeah, but the mistakes are you. Everyone has mistakes, and when I when I judge a tape overall, what do you think of it? I break it down, and yeah, there's one fuck up in there. I like to have that. Not that it happens, but the
Right.
one bad mix. But I'll
Right.
tell you what, it may be a bad mix, but the follow up song is always right.
Always
You
right.
got your follow up song.
Right.
You can't be Disco Duck, that's for sure.
That's true. That's true. So let me ask you another question now, because I know timing is of the essence for us, unfortunately. But what, if any, were some of your early influences?
What about what?
What, if any, were some of your early influences?
Intimacy? Oh, some of my relationships.
Influence, who influenced? Who was that person who actually you look up to? Who was that person who actually push you into because I as far as I'm concerned, I was like in 69, in 1970, I was really like depressed and not really focusing to anything, but there was a person, or there's always one person that
Well, when
actually
disco started, Robbie Leslie was my
good.
he when I we first started discovering disco, when it started peaking like a 12 West, me and Robbie would go up to 12 West, and he would line me all up. He
Mm,
would he would just have all his pockets full of whatever to come down, to come up, and
mm,
perk me up, and this and that, and patty whack. And but they were all good drugs though.
yeah,
There wasn't like smoking. It wasn't like smoking crack or doing heroin.
yeah, I
It was
know
just
about it.
disco drugs.
Yes, I know
And
all about that.
we go up there, we hear Alan Dodd play, and me and Robbie, we'd be having an acid trip together, and we just look at each other. Do you remember some of those moments so special where you look at each other and you want to ah? So I
Yeah,
did a
it's
lot of
crazy.
intimate things with him, but I've had a lot of relationships too, and Dennis is probably my strongest one.
Right.
He loved my music. He was a fan dancer,
Okay.
and
Yes.
yeah, he's one of the ones that we lost from AIDS.
Wow. Sorry to hear that. But when, in 1973, when you were in Miami, what made you become a DJ? Why did you become a DJ?
Why did I become a DJ?
Why? Yeah, why?
Well,
What made you become a disc jockey?
I've had just like putting little parties together of music and being in charge since I was a little kid. I would do all the barbecues. I make sure we play the right music. Trini Lopez and Dean
Okay.
Martin,
Right.
some of those Italian barbecues, and I
Yeah.
just loved to always provide the music, and I could figure out what would be the perfect song at this time, and not the standard one. You play away money,
Right. So,
then you're in a different space, and then from there, I
yeah. So what was the first club you went to?
oh, first club. It was the Continental Bass, I think. Yeah,
Okay.
the Corral in New York and Long Island Expressway, and at the same time the Continental Bass
Mm-hmm.
in a bathhouse with a dance floor. It had Bose 901s on the ceiling. It was wonderful. Who was playing there?
Bose. Yeah. Well.
I
Yeah.
forget who was playing there. I'll remember.
Yeah. So where was the first club that where you DJ'd?
It was called Keith's Cruise Room. It was
Keith
in Hallandale by the tracks.
Hollindale.
So the
Yeah.
people would park by the
Yeah.
right on Dixie Highway,
Wow.
and
Wow.
it was open till 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
They served. No, it was open. Yes, something like that. Six. They were able to in Hollywood, the city of Hollywood. They have a liquor license that's a lot later. So everybody
Right.
would come to Keith's and party out there, and it was fun. I had 45s, only 45s. Well, I guess I played "Who Is He" and "What Is He to You." That's a
That's.
33, right?
I love that song. I love that song. Absolutely. Absolutely. Any other songs that you remember?
Oh, I remember that Mark Simon called me up while I was spinning, and he had a special delivery for discotheques and the sexlets or get dancing. Oh, I hated that
Monty
song.
Hall. Yeah,
Did you
Monty.
like that?
Sir Monty. What are you? Monty Rock how Monty Rock the Third or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, Monty Rock the
Rock
Third,
the Third.
Louis.
Yes, 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 yes. I remember him back in.
And I'll bake me a man and
Oh my God,
stone love.
forget it.
Ackland.
Acklin, there you go. Barbara
Ackland.
Acklin, yeah. Absolutely fantastic music. I still play these records. I have my 45s in my little studio here where I go bananas. I can't wait to get together on one of these days,
Um,
and we I'm expecting Bobby Miro down here to come and do a little.
I'd love to.
Yes, yes, we need
I
to
would
get
love to
together.
be in the studio there and just
Yeah,
going through records and
a lot of
screaming to,
records.
"Ooh, play this."
Absolutely. Because we've been talking, and I need to bring this gentleman who's got also a lot of history in Florida with the Backstreet nightclub. Remember Bobby Miro?
Yes.
Yeah, Frank Core is also down here. It's time for you to come down and stay here, man. We
And
waiting for
every
you.
time I go down there, I come back up here and I feel as though something's missing. And it's the family of
You have to come
all the
back.
DJs. They end up retiring down there, you know?
Well, it's mandatory, after you get to be a certain age, you have to come down to the waiting room. I call it the waiting room.
What room is that?
It's Florida, man. Anywhere in Florida, you have to come here
Oh,
and forget and
oh,
wait,
yeah,
and you just have to
really?
wait. You get a condo or whatever, you just have to wait and tick tock,
Well, that's
tick
what my
tock.
mother and father did. They went down to Florida
Yeah. So
to retire.
we are here. We all waiting. We all waiting our turn. But
Oh,
anyways, but
geez.
yeah, man. I mean, we also looking forward to the day, which I don't know how many people know that you're a Legend of Vinyl board director, along with Bob Miro, Frank Core, Chico Star,
Oh, I
and
am?
Enrico Casanova. Oh, stop it! And we were doing the San Francisco. We were putting together the production for the San Francisco 2020
Oh,
awards, and all of this happened, so we had to postpone it to next year, obviously. But it's
yeah, because you
still,
were starting to work on that. You were
yeah, yeah,
starting
and
to.
everybody was getting into it, and we got people involved, and can't wait to you get people like Steve Favors, and
We were
he
supposed to
was
be
waiting.
going down there at this time right now.
Yes, absolutely, and that was the whole idea, and all of this happened. But we pushing it for 2021. The same with New York City, which you have been there, and you see how all the production in New York you know, is pretty nice. Everybody enjoys it, and
This
I'm
whole
very
this
proud of
whole
them.
this whole town is shut down. Shut
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Everyone, whether if everyone's saying to themselves, is it worth working or what? Fuck it. Everyone else is not working. It just seems that way because nobody's working. Yeah. Which I have a feeling somebody's going to snap their fingers and
Yeah.
the mayor's going to say, "Open the doors," and then
We
everybody has to go
started
to work
opening
again.
down here a little bit, for so we're thinking about June 1st to June 10th. This is what
Oh
I hear
yeah.
from Jimmy Elias, who actually he's been thinking about putting it together. This gentleman has and his whole family, they own two of the biggest catering halls and three clubs. So
Who is this?
Jimmy Elias, Jimmy E.
Oh,
You met him. You,
okay.
you met him.
Yes, yes.
And he is ready. These people are ready. So we are kind of, I'm looking forward to see him and his family open because the 2 months is an eternity for anybody in the nightclub business, if you know what I mean. So,
I know.
yeah, this is crazy. So we have to go back. And that's why we do what we do here,
For more
creating.
reasons than ever, the money. You know, I mean, they were
Right,
probably number the
exactly.
restaurants, the bars. Come on, you got to open us first, even if
Exactly.
nobody shows up. Let's just get this.
Fantastic. Yeah.
It's just slowly going.
So we're getting ready, Bobby. So let me ask you something. You must have a little suggestion, and maybe what would you say to the new generation of disc jockeys, producers, let's say, because there's so much to for them to learn from somebody like you with so much history and in your life. What would you tell them?
Uh, you never forget you have to have your own style too. You just can't go by the charts. You have to add your 2 cents in, and that is about maybe 20% of the program. I would say of my songs I played, I was my personal picks that I wanted to be hits, and if I wanted them or not, they became hits.
Right. Right.
And
Do you think that the producers and the disc jockeys, they should maintain the classics going like you did because you created classics never die? That's something that,
that's the only thing that will survive is that
yeah,
term.
you know. Well, not
Classic.
really.
Oh, I will survive. Classics never die. I get it.
I think that classics and what you continue to do and is fantastic, and we all do. We
Classics
all
never die.
classics never die. I think that would continue
You
to
know what? You know where that the story behind that came from?
tell me.
At Trocadero, I was tired again of playing the souvenirs
Hmm.
every week,
Right.
and then I wanted to. So right off the bat, I had a sign, a big sign that said "Classics Never Die," and I hung it up. I leaned up against the wall, and as soon as you walk in, the first thing you see is "Classics Never Die," and 50% of the people would go, "Oh, I can't stand it." And the other 50% of the people would say, "Oh, let's go for it. Come on, honey." And it's kind of like breaks everything up one of those nights every 2 months or 1 month, when
Right.
you do
Right.
Classics Never Die. There's no excuse. You have to play it because now they call it golden oldie hour, but that was my golden oldie hour.
Right.
And I could play anything I want and get away with it. That's oh.
Is that the same sign that you have from back in the day, or you just the sign that I seen in New York? Is that the same sign, or there's a new one?
What song?
No, 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 not a song. The sign, the classics never die. Is that the same sign from back in the day?
Yes, yes.
Oh, it is. Okay, well, fantastic. Because you had a
Classics
lot of.
never die. Classics never die means you don't have to play, four records pop and one record oldie. Four
I
records pop and one,
right.
as you could readjust that combination because I always had a certain combination. Otherwise, if I didn't have that combination, I would have bad nights. I have had bad nights, but
Uh
uh, not they wouldn't be bad nights. They wouldn't be awful nights.
right. Well,
They'd be,
it's like when I looked at my collection of music here. I have a wonderful variety of just so many genres of music. And I always say, I just reach into any record and I play it because there's no expiration date on any of this music. And a lot of people just hold back from playing a lot of music that we have instead of just, you know, using it, and teaching and people that
do you want
music
to hear what
never
I?
dies. The music in general is,
Yeah.
you know. So tell me.
Um. Oh, I was playing the song today, and the intro on it. I said it's got to be there's something wrong with the intro. It jumps too fast into the vocals,
Yeah.
and so I played the song. Do you want to hear just the intro?
I hope I can hear it. Sure.
Okay.
We all waiting for that song. Are you playing it now? No, Bobby, no, I cannot hear it.
You hear that?
I can't. No, I can't. I
You
cannot.
can't?
No,
Oh,
no,
so
no, I can't. I can't make
uh,
sense of it. No. What
uh,
song is it?
this old heart of mine
Oh,
by
okay.
uh,
Which one? By the Isley Brothers?
Donnie Beaumont.
Okay.
Oh,
So many
sorry, I wasted
people.
your time like that. I thought for sure you could hear it.
No, I did. I couldn't hear it. I couldn't
Oh,
hear
you
it.
know that you
I
have to
couldn't
put the
hear it. No.
speakerphone. Yeah.
Right. 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 Right.
You told me not to do this, and I didn't listen to you.
No, no, no. That's okay. Don't no worries. But anyway, so this is where we are right now at the fact that we, the old generation, this jockeys, we need to continue to bring this forward to educate the new generation. We have kind of a mess right now in the industry. It's really, when was the last time that you got excited about any new song that is out there that it's got all the elements, all the, it's got
Jesus,
the lyrics for one, the message.
that one new one by Earth, Wind and Fire. What's it called?
A new one by Earth, Wind and Fire.
Not new. It's old. It's like 5 years old, 10 years old, maybe.
Well,
Oh,
maybe so, but I'm talking
see
about
what's happening?
now. I mean, there is nothing out there that we can
No,
say,
no, there's
"Oh
nothing.
my
That's the
God,
last one
did
I
you
could
hear
think of.
that?" That it's got all the elements, the harmony and the lyrics and the instrumentation and everything together. We haven't heard any of that, and I keep, I'm looking around and it's like, sucks.
What
Nothing
was
is.
it with that Philly sound? I missed it. I loved it, and the TK sound too. You
The
know?
the Philly sound. The Philly sound was born actually 19 at the end of 1972. The Trumps have a lot to do with it, and I always say,
Earl Young.
Yes, sir, Earl Young, Jimmy, and the whole group. I mean, created this particular song. It was an old song called "Sing with the Strength of My Heart," and it's got a doo-woppy, but it's got the rhythm of it's got the rhythm. That's Earl Young. Four on the Floor, the creator of this sound beat, the disco beat, and I'm calling it because I know that is the truth. That song is the original creation of the disco beat. Sing with the strength of my heart. That's the
Oh,
first
Sing with
one.
the Strength of My Heart. Yeah,
That's the
that
song.
and Look Me Up by like Blue
Blue
Magic.
Magic, Blue
Yeah,
Magic. But
that was
that is
always
the
very that was
creation. That
disco.
is the beginning. I was playing it. There was nothing. There was a lot of R&B, a lot of gospel, a lot of rock and roll music. But in my day, that was the song, that the signature of the disco creation. And as far as I'm concerned now,
Isn't it
obviously,
delicious?
they're absolutely fantastic. Yes, like
Well,
delicious. Yes, right.
Florida played such a big role
TK
in
Records was
oh yeah, and plus
monumental.
we had all these. There's so many discotheques in Florida.
Even
Tourists, you
in,
still got the
yeah,
tourists down there.
yeah.
And when I go down there, I'm just so surprised how many are still open compared to New York.
Wow, New York is a mess now, and that's
It's a
gone
mess
down.
now. But
Yeah,
New York, we would have these big, massive clubs, and they would turn out like Studio 54 in the Saint and Palladium
right.
and area.
Wow.
And now, things have changed. Who knows? We'll be dancing in the
Well, all the
drive-in
clubs are
in the
gone.
concession. We'll be dancing in the concession, the hot dogs concession.
Well, all the
We'll all
clubs
be
are
in a little group
gone.
in the corner dancing.
Yeah, the clubs as we knew it, they're all gone. They're not. There's no coming back. You can't bring back clubs like that. All this crazy stuff going on. I mean, the mention of a nightclub is taboo. You can't have anything.
Yeah,
Every
it was
politician is
past tense.
against it, and then they will shut you down. And one drink is more than enough. They'll. I mean, everything is against them. So the clubs. I mean, I'm happy that I was part of that from the get go, from the very beginning, and you also are part of that, and we experience all of this. But now, it's different. The new generation, once again, they will never know what the Trocadero experience was. Even Studio 54, to a certain degree, is remembered like Saturday Night Fever. Saturday Night Fever, a movie that in my book is just crazy. It was never happened. It was, that was just a movie, and people they think that that's what happened in the clubs. That's exactly, it's just a, not in my book, anyways. And so there were a lot of underground clubs, as you will remember, and that's what everything happened. You
Well, you
know.
never talked about Billy, my light man. We started talking about him, and it ended.
Well, talk about Billy, Bobby.
He was. I keep on saying Robbie, but kind of like my. He was my pet, I guess. I don't know. Robbie wasn't my pet. Oh Jesus, I'm sounding so stupid. Ro-
I know. I'm just listening here. You know.
Billy Langenheim was my lightman. I also recruited him from Studio One in L.A.
Right.
along with Craig Morey and Mike Lewis, and I got him to play one night at the club, and we had a special night. You know, everybody knew I was trying out a light man
Mm,
because I was working with the light man that the house light man they had, but I wanted some new blood in there. So it
right.
was a night, and Billy showed up with a patch over his eye. He got an infection in his eye. What a fool! Everybody's looking at him. He's a blind light man, but
Yeah.
no, Billy just had that one patch over his eye for a week. But that just so happened to be on the opening night that he played. But boy, can he do lights! And he's an electrician too. He knows how to do wiring and stuff.
Wow.
So he loved to be out. And we had one of those lifts, you know, your standard electric lifts that lifts you up for the lights. You didn't need a ladder, you know. So he was so comfortable in that, moving it around the club all the time, changing gels. He never had gels. He said, I never want when I come to the club, I always dance in this spot, but I never want that one light in the only
Right.
one night. The lights have to be shifted around every because people remember that. I said, really? He says, yeah, people remember. They're aware of the light setup. So he's juggling them around all the time, you know, and I like that. It's refreshing. He kept the mirror ball spotless, and look,
Mm.
man,
All
he
right.
could do a blackout like Robbie.
Yeah. Wow.
He did a
Yeah.
blackout. Um, in San Francisco when I would play Where Were You When the Lights Went Out, I did a blackout, and he turned every light bulb. He unscrewed the exit lights, and
No kidding.
the the inspector just so happened to bop in. You
Right.
know, all times they wanted to give
Oh
us a
wow.
ticket for the exit lights being not
Sure.
on,
Right.
and something
Amazing.
stupid like that. But
Can
I mean,
you
he said, "Oh,
believe
that's
that?
an honor." I don't know. I consider that an
Hey, hell
accomplishment.
yeah.
Please.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I
Man,
love dancing in black. I love black. That black is so sleazy. You know, I mean,
well, yeah, it
I
gets
mean,
everybody excited for, for the time that it's all dark all of a sudden. Everybody gets euphoric, like, oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. Everyone gets reformed, right?
Yes, absolutely. It works. Especially and I used to just look at my live and say, black out, it's coming, it's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, and the guy was sometimes you find a good lineman, sometimes you just don't. And so you have to know the music. A light man needs to know every song inside and out.
He's your right hand man because if
Just
you don't have
yes,
a light man that's
uh,
on your side, forget about it. You
just
know.
like a DJ, absolutely, and that's why
And I go to Lightman and I would talk to him. I say, listen, this next song you haven't heard it. It's new. It's really good, but it's suspenseful. But just kind of keep it low, and then when the break comes, just pound them real bright, and then dip them into a hole. Okay, got it.
My God. So did you ever meet? Let me ask you. Did you ever meet like Jim Burgess, Tom Savarese? Did you had a time with
Yes.
Jimmy Stewart?
I
Stewart and there were so many disc jockeys that
Oh,
really
Jimmy
really
Stewart. I remember when he died. I went to his.
yeah,
He had a party. They had a reel to reel at 12 West
you're right,
on the.
yeah.
Did you hear about that?
I was part of a little bit of it, yeah.
Yeah, they had a reel to reel of us playing and a pin light on it, and then people were coming in the morning and go, "Oh, I'm gonna miss you. He brought me to heaven."
Outstanding disc jockey, really. I have to
Yes, he was
and
Jimmy
then,
Stewart. He
yeah.
died in the bathhouse fire.
Yes, exactly. And I did a tribute with him, and the first radio station that played the full 4 hours. I was the first DJ at WKTU with DC LaRue, good friend DC LaRue, and
There's
we
so many.
had the
There's so
tribute,
many.
to Jimmy Stewart, and we chose a particular part of a segment that of Jimmy, and people loved it. People were crying,
We
and
all had
people,
our own style, you know.
yeah,
Everyone had their own style.
yeah,
Well, look at Jim Burgess, but
right,
they all died, unfortunately. How can it
yeah,
be? You know, thank God I'm
yeah.
alive.
Yeah, there's
Thank God we're alive, Mario.
right. Yes, I'm so happy. I keep checking every morning just to know, just to see if it's true.
Is this
I
working?
Yeah, yeah. It says testing, testing, 1 2 1 2, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Another day. I love it.
Still there.
We're still there. I'm waiting for Bobby to move down to Florida somehow or
Only the
another.
strong survive.
Yes, you're right. But I'm having a time of my life, and I know you are too. And we just, happy that you're still around, still with us. Your health is wonderful. So and
Yep,
that's the most important thing. We can
that's it.
still
That's it.
tell the story. And I just want to thank you so much, Bobby, for spending a little time with us. I'm creating these segments in order for us to, like I say, this is just a chat, not an interview. It's just two friends talking about little details like that.
We got so much more to talk about
So
too.
much, so much, but you can't squeeze that in 1 hour. You have to
No,
have
but
definitely
some
a
other time, right?
marathon. Absolutely. And when you get down here, that's the time when we're both going to get together, and we're gonna just let the tape roll, let it
Oh,
roll,
go
let it
live like you're
roll,
doing
roll.
now.
Absolutely. And then we have to talk about so much, and maybe we can even invite a couple of friends with us that we can sit in a room and just record these memories that they are so important for us and for the public, for the audience, for our friends. And I can't say enough. But the L.O.V is the message legacy hour chat is being created. I have a few people coming up, including DC LaRue, Bobby Miro, Frank Core, Tony Smith is going to be joining us also. A whole bunch of other interesting and key people in the industry will be with us every week for at least an hour. So, Bobby, what can you tell the audience that follow you and continue to support you, and what is your message to them?
Classics never die, of course.
Yes, classics never. You are a class
We're
act.
all classics. We're
You're a
all alive. We're
class
still here.
act, and you are adored by so many people. I know that.
And
And
I'd like to just keep the past present. If
right,
that makes sense.
yeah,
Never forget
absolutely,
about the past. I love the old music,
yeah.
and if you weren't there, the newcomers. I have a lot of people writing me notes about the music uh, when I'm watching you, Mario. I'm watching you with your hands now. You're doing something. But anyway, it was a joy. Thanks for having me.
No, I'm actually getting ready to thank everybody. Obviously, you, Bobby. Thank you so much for your friendship. Let me ask you last question. You're part of the Legends of Vinyl Hall of Fame. What do you have to say about that? Is that are we doing okay? Did we pass the audition with the Legends of Vinyl Hall of Fame organization?
Mario.
Yeah. Can you
What
hear
was
me
that?
now?
Say that again.
I said you are part of the Legends of Vinyl Hall of Fame.
Oh, there you are. Hi, Mario.
There you are. And what do you have to say about are we doing okay? What do you feel? How you feel about the LOV?
L.O.V. I love it. you
Well,
you you guys, you're helping keep it alive.
just like
You
you,
know.
just like you.
Yeah, it's like Dick Clark. Right. You're becoming really good with this show. You got some of my notes. I watch some of your shows, and they're getting better and better.
Well, thank you
And
for
I can't
that.
wait to come down there and do something live with you in the studio.
I appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to that day, big time, Bobby, big time. In the meantime, I want you to please stay safe and
Oh,
and take care of yourself, and
thank
let me
you.
know when you're getting down here because I wanted to put together something. I mean, things are getting changing, but we're moving on, so I'm looking forward to seeing you real soon, Bobby. All right, thank you
Okie
so
doke.
much,
Thank
my
you,
friend.
Lewis.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Bye bye.
Bye. My friends, thank you so much for tuning in to the LOV is the Message Legacy Hour chat. I had a wonderful time talking to Bobby, and I hope you had a good time listening to his messages and to the history that he has. And I'm looking forward to next week. I'm going to let everybody know. Please stay tuned for the next Legacy Hour chat. So until then, remember, LOV is the message. Peace.